Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year. May 2026 be a fantastic year for you guys and for me and for all of our VIP hearts. This year is going to be really amazing. You'll see. Today's video is gonna ruffle some feathers, I think. The topic is a bit controversial to say the least, but I really wanted to make this one and I worked really hard on it, and I hope you guys watch it and I hope you like it and I hope you enjoy my work. It's been difficult, but here it is. The day is finally here. So yeah, let me know in the comments if I got something wrong or if you have different opinions. Of course, there are no right or wrong opinions here. The topic is quite complex and has a lot of layers and nuances. And yeah, let's do this. But first of all, this is a disclaimer. I wanted this video to be of a more informative nature, unbiased. Although I have my own opinions on the topic, I'm not here to judge or to impose my view on the topic. I know there are a lot of Seungri fans out there and OT5 fans, and my opinion is that everybody is entitled to their own opinion as long as we all behave in a civilized and mature manner. We are all adults, so please be kind, be respectful. I want this to be an exercise for all of us to take everything with a grain of salt, especially things presented in the media, not just regarding Seungri, but regarding everyone. In K-pop, Big Bang was one of those groups everybody knew. They didn't just follow trends, they helped create them. Each member had a strong presence, and the youngest, Seungri, was often seen as the cheerful one, full of energy and big ambitions. But over time, it became clear that there was more behind the image. What came out later would change how people saw not only him, but the industry as a whole. This is the story of Seungri's rise and his fall, and how it changed Big Bang forever. To understand Seungri's fall, we first have to remember where it all began. Lee Sung-hyun, born December 12, 1990, is better known as Seungri. He is a South Korean singer-songwriter and was the youngest member of Big Bang under YG Entertainment. Seungri was known for his dancing from a young age and was part of the dance group, this one which I cannot pronounce, sorry. Hoping to break into the entertainment industry, he appeared on a survival show, though he was eliminated before the final rounds. After the show, he was scouted by YG Entertainment and was invited to audition for a new boy group. In 2006, at just 15 years old, Seungri became a trainee at YG and competed on the Big Bang documentary, fighting for a place in the group that would soon become Big Bang. Seungri almost didn't make the final lineup. He and another contestant were initially cut due to concerns about stage presence, but YG founder gave them one last chance to prove themselves. In the end, Seungri was kept, while the other contestant was dropped before debut. That second chance changed his life. Big Bang debuted later that year. While G-Dragon, T.O.P., Taeyang, and Daesung had already shown flashes of their unique artistry, Seungri became the group's youthful spark, the witty, mischievous youngest member who brought balance to their intensity. Big Bang's early releases saw moderate success, including their first album, Big Bang Volume 1. Seungri also recorded his first solo track the next day. Their breakthrough came in 2007 with the EP Always and the hit song Lies, which topped Korean charts for weeks and earned Song of the Year. Follow-up releases like Hot Issue and Stand Up continued that momentum with chart-topping singles. During this time, Seungri focused heavily on dance, competing with fellow idols and refining his skills. He also took part in choreographing several of Big Bang's performances. Fans adored him for his confidence, humor, and drive. He wasn't just an idol, he was the life of the party, the one who always knew how to make people laugh. By the early 2010s, Big Bang had conquered Asia, and Seungri had found his own voice, releasing solo songs like Strong Baby and VVIP that showed off his charisma and charm. He was ambitious, hungry for success, not only on stage but beyond it. In 2012, Seungri began promoting in Japan, appearing on variety shows and hosting a radio program, Big Bang's All Night Nippon. He was also selected as a special MC on Fuji TV, where he interviewed other celebrities. Seungri's career took a setback when he became embroiled in a scandal with a Japanese woman. As a result, he stepped out of Big Bang's promotional activities for self-reflection. He would revisit the scandal 1 year later on SBS talk show Incarnation, discussing how it helped him grow up and how fans began to view him more as an adult. Yikes. After more than 2 years of work, Seungri released his second Korean EP, Let's Talk About Love, in 2013. The album debuted at number one in Korea, and he promoted it with the singles Gotta Talk to You and the title track Let's Talk About Love. He followed this with his first Japanese album later that year, which topped the Oricon chart. Around the same time, he also expanded further into Japanese television, co-hosting a cable show and starring the drama Yubikoi. From 2013 to 2014, Seungri continued acting in both Japan and Korea, including a supporting role in the Korean drama Angel Eyes. From 2015 to 2016, Seungri toured extensively with Big Bang while promoting their album Made. During this period, he also appeared as a judge and mentor on the Chinese TV program Girls Fighting. In 2018, 12 years after his debut, Seungri announced his first solo tour, The Great Seungri. And judging by this name, you can tell he was very confident, with shows in South Korea and Japan. That July, he also released his first Korean studio album under the same name, featuring the singles 123 and Where Are You From? He took part in writing and producing every track, and the album debuted at number one on Korea's Gaon chart. Unlike many idols who focus solely on music, Seungri dreamed of being a mogul. He opened academies for aspiring idols, launched restaurants, clubs, and even invested in real estate. To fans, he looked unstoppable, the perfect example of an idol who had turned fame into empire. He wasn't just Big Bang's maknae anymore. He was CEO Seungri. But as the empire grew, so did the rumors. Whispers of questionable business partners, nightlife scandals, and blurred boundaries between entertainment and excess. Few paid much attention at the time. After all, Seungri had always seemed in control, confident, untouchable, and endlessly charming. But in 2019, that image began to collapse. As none of us really know what happened between the guys as we were not there, this section is made up with bits of interviews and speculation made up by fans who witnessed that particular Big Bang era. So, as a consequence, this information cannot be verified and must be taken with a grain of salt. My personal opinion, nobody asked, I know, but here it is that maybe Seungri's personality wasn't that compatible with the other Big Bang members. What I mean by that is that it was obvious that Seungri really liked being famous and being an idol and was very concerned with the money aspect of it all, as opposed to the other members who were more, let's say, artistic and weren't this concerned with the business aspect of it all. I truly believe that the other members really cared about Seungri. You cannot deny that. It's quite obvious from the videos you see from that time. And I think that they really tried hard for the sake of the group to get along. But at the end of the day, things took a dark turn. But at the same time, I believe that peer pressure eventually got to Seungri and he started avoiding his mates who openly disapproved of his new friends and hobbies. Being around the wrong people can really destroy your life, even for us normal people. For Seungri, at his level, his actions came with dire consequences. The general consensus is that being the youngest member, he was like your typical youngest sibling, never listening and always doing things his own way. Of course, like any other group effort, especially if you're in a long term contract starting in your teens, you're sort of just bound to try to get along in order to work together harmoniously on camera and on stage. And I could definitely see GD making this effort specifically as a leader. There were some moments where they were warming up to him and the chemistry was starting to look better. The members did say he started getting distant around 2015 and up, as he got more interested and involved in business and hanging out with business associates rather than be involved in music. Seungri stopped eating out with them, hanging out together, didn't invite them to his parties, always busy whenever the members called. They even mentioned to him that they didn't like the people he was hanging around with and that those friends seemed shady and were only friends with him because of the BigBang name. At the end of the day, Seungri didn't listen. I mean, come on, we all remember the video where GD is scolding Seungri. The group was upset that Seungri didn't invite them to his birthday party, even though he rented out the entire Amangpulo Island. Things must have been so bad that they had to call him out about his shady friends on TV just to get the point across, which obviously didn't work.
내년에 내가 혼자 있으면 살 거 없는 걸 원래 혼자 있는 건데 2017년도부터는 좀 제가
네.
예.
같이 하고 싶어도 또 네.
예.
다 같이 못 하잖아요. 아, 워낙에 또 이제 일들이 많으셔서
네,
또
일이
사업도
하고 있는
많고
일이
파티도
많아가지고.
많고
네, 가장 밥 먹기 힘든 친구고
아, 손했네. GD
네.
형이 손했네.
접대할 분들이 많아서
아,
예.
It began with a single report, an incident outside the Burning Sun nightclub in Seoul, where Seungri was an executive director. What seemed at first like a simple assault case soon spiraled into something far more serious. Media investigations uncovered allegations of drug use, sexual misconduct, police corruption, and illegal activities connected to the club's operations. And at the center of the media storm stood Seungri. The news spread like wildfire. Fans were shocked. The industry froze. As the investigation widened, Seungri was accused of arranging prostitution for business investors, embezzlement, and other charges. He denied any wrongdoing, but the evidence mounted and public outrage grew. Media also shared private conversations with messages allegedly shared between the singer and Burning Sun employees about such arrangements in relation to the prostitution allegation. But during a press conference on March 4th, the police revealed that the original unedited messages were actually not submitted. However, Seungri denied the allegations, and Journalists later admitted that they manipulated some of the chats, presenting some private conversations as part of group chats. On March 10th, Seungri underwent a second round of drug analysis, and the results were negative. On a very sad day of March 11, 2019, Seungri announced on his Instagram account his retirement from the entertainment industry, stating that the criticism and hate he received in the past month had driven him to this move in order to protect BigBang and YG Entertainment. He also stated that he would fully cooperate with the investigation. This led to the consensual termination of his contract with his agency, YG Entertainment, on March 13. But it was simply too late. The scandal had already shaken the foundations of K-pop. For many fans, it was heartbreaking. Seungri had once been the symbol of ambition and charisma, and now his name was synonymous with controversy. We're getting a bit technical here, so bear with me, please. So, on April 1st, the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency reported that Seungri and his business partner, the co-CEO Yuri Holdings, embezzled funds from Yuri Holdings for business purposes. The amount was reported to be about tens of millions of wons. On April 25th, Seungri denied the prostitution charges related to a 2015 Christmas party, while his business associate admitted that he did call and pay for entertainers for Japanese investors. The hotel bill was reportedly paid using a YG Entertainment corporate card. However, Seungri denied knowing about the occurrence of prostitution. On May 8, after a total of 17 closed-door police interrogations, Seoul police requested an arrest warrant for Seungri over the following charges: prostitution mediation, embezzlement of Burning Sun funds, and violation of the Food Sanitation Act. But on May 14, 6 days later, the Seoul District Court rejected the arrest warrant. The court said that the main charge, the embezzlement, was still open to dispute, and it also ruled that there wasn't enough reason for detention, such as concerns over destroying evidence for the remaining allegations. The court also said that prosecutors failed to clearly show whether Seungri held criminal responsibility or how extensive it was. On May 15, police added that reapplying for an arrest warrant would be difficult and that they would instead complete the investigation before Seungri's military enlistment. However, the story doesn't end here. On June 25th, police forwarded the case to prosecutors, listing 7 charges. These included procuring sex services, mediating prostitution, embezzlement of business funds and Club Burning Sun revenue, attempting to destroy evidence, distributing illegally filmed content online, and violating the Food Sanitation Act. On August 28, 2019, Seungri was also questioned over allegations of illegal gambling. Then, on January 10, 2020, prosecutors requested a second arrest warrant, again citing 7 charges. The court denied the request, saying detention was unnecessary based on his cooperation and the lack of sufficient grounds. Seungri enlisted in the military on March 9, 2020, and his case was transferred to a military court. His trial began on September 16, covering 8 charges. He denied all of them except one, a violation of the Foreign Exchange Transactions Act, stating that he was deeply reflecting on that mistake. Regarding the prostitution-related allegations, Seungri's lawyer said that he had no reason to mediate prostitution. He also stated that Seungri did not recall having intimate relations with the woman involved, whom he believed was simply someone who wanted to meet him. During the trial, witnesses testified that it was actually Seungri's business partner, not Seungri, who ordered the prostitution. On the charge of distributing obscene material, the defense argued that Seungri only shared the photo with friends. They said that the image was not taken by him, but sent to him from an entertainment bar. As for the habitual gambling charge, his lawyer said that Seungri did not gamble regularly. He explained that Seungri traveled to the United States for work, not for gambling, and that while habitual gambling is illegal, occasional gambling is not. The embezzlement charge was split into two separate counts. Seungri's defense said he had neither the motive nor the intent to commit embezzlement. He was also charged with violating the Food Sanitation Act for allegedly registering the Monkey Museum as a restaurant instead of an entertainment venue. Now it gets a bit interesting. So on January 14, prosecutors added a charge related to inciting violence. They pointed to a 2015 incident in which a drunk customer entered the private room where Seungri and his acquaintances were present. After an argument, prosecutors claimed that Seungri called his business partner, who then brought in gang members to threaten the man. Based on this, they accused Seungri of acting as a co-conspirator. Seungri denied any involvement with gang members. During the 15th hearing, one alleged victim said he actually did not feel threatened at the time, while another said that he was actually unaware that Seungri was connected to the incident at all. The trial also raised concerns about possible confirmation bias. On March 25, 2021, following the 13th hearing, a witness claimed that police had written a statement in Seungri's name that Seungri actually never made. Other witnesses said that investigators pressured them to give false testimony, possibly due to media and public pressure. Several also claimed that their statements were altered or that questioning was steered toward implicating Seungri. On August 12, 2021, Seungri was sentenced to 3 years in prison and fined 1.15 billion won, which is about 990,000 US dollars, and taken into custody immediately. On January 27, 2022, following a final appeal at the High Court for Armed Forces, his sentence was reduced to 18 months. At that time, Seungri pleaded guilty to all charges and said that he would reflect on his actions. The ruling was upheld by South Korea's Supreme Court on May 26, 2022. Seungri was then discharged from the military and was transferred to a civilian prison to serve the rest of his sentence. In February 2023, reports emerged that he would be released early, and on February 9th, 2023, Seungri was released from prison. BigBang had already faced its share of struggles. Top's enlistment and legal issues, G-Dragon and Taeyang's military service, Daesang's long hiatus, the group had endured storms before. But Seungri's scandal was different. This time, it wasn't just personal, it affected their legacy as a whole. Fans began to wonder whether BigBang could ever come back the same way. Their brotherhood, once unbreakable, now seemed fractured. While the remaining 4 members stayed silent for months, they eventually returned to the stage, not as the 5-member group fans once knew, but as 4 men who had lived through loss, shame, and transformation. Their 2022 comeback song, Still Life, carried that message beautifully. A bittersweet reflection on time, change, and the pain of letting go. BigBang endured, but the shadow of Seungri's fall never fully disappeared. Soon after his release, multiple reports of Seungri engaging in questionable behavior and social interactions began to emerge. Let's begin with him casually drinking with friends as if nothing had ever happened. Just 2 months later, in April 2023, Seungri was spotted having drinks with a group of people, seemingly unaffected by the past events. In a video posted on social media, Seungri, dressed in a black t-shirt and sunglasses, can be seen tapping the bottom of the soju bottle with his elbow and flicking the neck with his fingers after opening it. The video, along with several photos, was shared on Instagram as the footage was captured during a trip to Korea by none other than Grace Tahir, a popular influencer with thousands of followers, who is reportedly the daughter of an Indonesian billionaire. Without a doubt, Grace's story sparked a lot of mixed reactions from online users and some Korean media outlets. Many Koreans, especially those who still held negative views of Seungri because of his criminal history, didn't change their opinions. One comment even said, "Watching him makes my blood boil." However, when the backlash grew, Grace took to Instagram to respond to the concerns she was getting in her DMs. She reassured her followers that Seungri seemed to be in good physical and mental health, was friendly, and easily chatted with everyone. Grace also cleared up any confusion about his alcohol consumption, saying he had only drunk a little and wasn't intoxicated. She explained that Seungri was just showing her the soju whirlpool trick as she had asked, denying any claims of inappropriate behavior. Seungri found himself in the spotlight once again when BBC's documentary Burning Sun, exposing the secret K-pop chat groups, was released on May 19. Just a few days later, he made another public appearance, this time at a private birthday concert in Malaysia. A 1-minute video from the event quickly made its way across social media, showing Seungri performing Bang Bang Bang, one of his former group's biggest hits. In the footage, he appeared to be in high spirits, entertaining the crowd at the birthday celebration held at a Chinese restaurant. This public appearance again sparked an uproar online, with many netizens expressing their anger at his apparent disregard for his past actions. The fact that he seemed to be living the perks of his formal idol life without any visible signs of remorse upset many. It's sad. Some of these people attending the event don't even know what he has done, one top comment read, while others argued that he should never have been released from jail in the first place. Since then, Seungri has often found himself in and out of the spotlight, with various reports circulating about him either partying, being spotted with women, or enjoying leisurely trips throughout Southeast Asia. In addition to that, he has consistently been at the center of multiple reports involving questionable behavior. The allegations range from inviting acquaintances to exclusive clubs and hosting lavish parties to being seen in the company of individuals such as Chinese actors banned from professional activities due to past illegal convictions. Recently, in December 2024, a video began circulating across various social media platforms and online communities and quickly grabbing attention. The video showcased Seungri attending an exhibition abroad, looking significantly different from his previously slender appearance. His face and physique appeared fuller, which immediately caught the eye of viewers. What attracted even more attention was not just his changed appearance, but the apparent continuation of his lavish lifestyle, seemingly unaffected by the scandal. A caption accompanying the video further fueled the gossip, claiming that Seungri earned more money than G-Dragon. Reports later surfaced confirming that Seungri was in discussions with foreign investors, leading many to believe that he was preparing for new business ventures. During this period, he was notably spotted with Jacob Arabo, the founder and creative director of the Swiss luxury watch brand Jacob & Co. And if that brand sounds familiar to you, this brand gained worldwide attention due to the highly publicized collaboration with G-Dragon and his Daisy jewelry. Seungri's association with the brand raised more questions about his financial condition and business activities, with some commenters pointing out his former role as the CEO of YGX and suggesting that he might hold significant shares in YG Entertainment. Although it's only been, 3 years since Seungri's release from prison, he has not laid low, continuing with business ventures and high profile meetings as if nothing ever happened. While some see this as a sign of resilience, it leaves many questioning whether he will ever truly be forgiven. For many, the fall of Seungri is more than a story about one idol. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked fame, power, and the blurred lines between business and celebrity. Big Bang survived the fire, but they'll never forget the flames. I wanted to make this video because as a newer VIP, it's really easy to fall for the clickbait videos and titles, and the information is a bit messy and everybody's saying the same things, that Seungri was a monster, that he did terrible things. And I agree that he did terrible things. I also think that not all that was portrayed in the media was necessarily true, because I'm sorry, there were so many hearings and interviews by the police, and after 17 hearings at least, you really need to justify that resource use and time by coming up with some accusations and doing something. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, they couldn't come out empty-handed. They needed to put something on Seungri. They really wanted Seungri to pay for something. As I was doing more and more research into the topic, I was really, at some point, I really felt bad for Seungri, because now, after doing this video, I'm not so sure that everything that the media said and the police said is true. I know that he pleaded guilty eventually, but you plead guilty after so many years where they destroyed your career and they destroyed your life, and you know how it goes down in Korea. Once the media says something, you've seen it with G-Dragon and TOP as well. They destroyed TOP's career in Korea at that time. It's a miracle he's actually coming back. And you remember the incident with G-Dragon where they accused him of drug use and it was a setup. But Seungri wasn't G-Dragon and TOP. Like Seungri already had this predisposition of doing naughty things, and being a rebel and breaking rules. And he really enjoyed living life. So you see, the picture is fuzzy. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm not trying to convince you that Seungri was guilty or not guilty, a monster or not a monster. I'm just saying that we should all think for ourselves and not necessarily follow the crowd, in thinking, and do your own research. And at the end of the day, idols are still humans, and we all make mistakes, and they are not perfect, they are not gods, as much as we want to believe that. So Seungri's story is actually a tragedy, not just of fame loss, but of innocence corrupted by ambition. From the bright lights of the stage to the darkness of the scandals, it reminds us that even the biggest stars can fall. But it reminds us of something else too, that redemption, although distant, begins with truth. Big Bang's story isn't just about success or scandal. It's actually about the human struggle behind the spotlight and the price of choosing perfection in a world that never stops watching. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Drop your thoughts into the comments if you agree or disagree with what I said. If I got anything wrong, I'm not perfect. I'm not Korean. I haven't been there. So I tried my best. I hope you liked it. And I'll see you next time.